I need your support right stinking now, man. Come on, David. David! Oh, man, you were playing hide and seek with me, weren't you, buddy? Aha, yeah. I'm so happy to see you. Oh no. How are you, David? Who hurt you? Sorry, I wasn't here to help. All right, brother. Let's get out of here. All right, so we died to this guy earlier. I think we can't parry, but we'll try one more time. Come on, let me parry. Let me parry. Yes, you can parry. Okay. And then you have to attack. Damn, the timing is not easy. Very, very hard. Am I allowed to parry right now? I might actually be out of stamina. Maybe I can't. Alright. Very good animations. Open the gate. Wide open the gate. Get to the gate handle and press Y to open it. Where's the gate handle? I see fire. Alright, do we go back up here? Is it this? Guys, you've done a really great job of helping me know where to go and what to do. But now I am lost. So press Y to open the gate. Oh, there's a shiny. I was, once again, if I'm that close, come on, guys. Y'all need to fix that. Got one. That one's mine.
Oh God! Hi, hello.
Behind you. No, never mind. That's a shrub.
I just flicked back. Never mind. It's a shrub.
To the Taphaven Podcast, where we're vertical on YouTube.
What?
Sorry,
Wait a
everything
second.
happened so quick. Everything was so fast.
You gave us no warning.
I thought you were ready to go. I thought the buttons were pressed. I thought life was good.
I just had so
I
many
went to the wrong place.
I had so many
Oh my god.
echoes.
What happened?
Oh my
Are we
gosh,
good?
Well,
Holy
I'm
crap.
recovering.
I went to the absolute wrong place.
oh no. Oh no. Okay. Let's start over. Welcome to the Taphaven Podcast, episode 54. How's everybody doing? How's the week's going?
I'm sick.
What?
I have been sick for a week, and
Gosh.
but during the week, no big deal. During the weekend, everything sucks.
Ooh.
So I'm recovering, but right now I've got that like, oh, you can like feel it in like
It's coming.
the
coming.
the lack of energy and weirdness.
I hate
But
that. There were
most,
like 2 weeks out of the last month I was sick, and then I had to go miss a bunch of practices and then fight like right afterwards. And man, you can feel it when you have a bunch of sick weeks.
yeah.
We're shared.
Oh, that was just a test. That was a test.
Yeah,
A test
It's a
message.
test. It's a test.
Okay.
It's a test.
We're
It's a
shared.
test.
Yeah, it's a great way to start a long weekend with being sick, you know. So great. That's how it happens.
Ugh,
How
that's
about
the
where?
worst.
What have y'all been up to?
Nah,
It's been 2 weeks actually.
It has.
Let's see. Am I going?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I had a job opportunity.
Hmm.
I turned it down.
Okay.
It was for a data analyst position that was going to probably work me to the bone and possibly like
Oof.
burn me the hell out. I had to do a lot of counseling between like people who I could trust their opinion on the situation, and I gave them the details, and I got like a few people who were like, no, you should definitely do it, and then like a few people who have done like either corporate or have like a little bit more like knowledge of how those teams are supposed to run, and they were like, run. Do not, no, not this.
Yikes.
Like definitely a position that you could possibly take, not this position though, not the one that they are listing, because from what we're hearing, you can do better. So I did not take the job, and feeling pretty good about it. I am trying to move. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to do anything corporate at this point. Like I don't know if I want to like move up the ladder at this point, because It's not looking too hot out there, guys.
Dude, job
No.
market's crazy.
Was it in person?
The interview?
No, the job. Like, was it remote
it was
or?
no, not remote. It was definitely in person the entire time. Like I would get, it was a $5,000 raise. I'd be staying until like 2 a.m.
The heck?
for certain projects, depending on whether or not what the demands were.
Yikes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So it was definitely something that I thought about for a while, but I was like,
Yeah. We need to get rid of that whole climbing the corporate ladder societal stuff because it's a trap. The trap is that everyone gets promoted until they reach a level that they are incompetent. And then they stop getting promoted. They don't get demoted. And then you have them stuck in a position that they can't handle. So you've got all these companies that are like, so what are your goals? How are you going to grow? How do we help you grow? What would you like to achieve? And they're like, well, they don't realize they're pushing you to become unhelpful eventually.
yes.
Eventually, you will reach a point where you just make things worse for the company.
Wow. Dark.
That's just how it works. I mean,
I mean, like, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm more so saying, like, yeah, that's very indicative of what I feel my experience is right now. It's like, okay, let's keep upskilling you.
Mhm.
At a certain point in time, you're not going to have the skill.
Yeah. Like I very early on got pushed into like management, right? And then I tried to get out of it. And then I got to another job and I wasn't in management, but they're like, oh, well, we know that you have management experience. This is like 6 months in. Like, so we always wanted you to do management eventually. It's like, okay. So now I'm management again. I don't want to do it. Eventually I tried to get out of it. Now I'm finally properly like out of it. Cause I'm like, look, I don't think I'm not for that. And if I am for that, it'll be in like 10 years when I'm not a child. And it's like at one point I remember the last company, they did have that like, oh, okay, we're going to start. They had like a whole system with your goals and what you want to achieve and all this stuff. And I straight up said to them, I was like, okay, but what about someone that wants to keep doing what they're doing?
Yeah.
What is wrong with that? What is wrong with a blacksmith staying a blacksmith?
Being a blacksmith. Yeah.
Why can't people do that? Like
because that's a trade, and the idea is that if you are a tradesperson, you eventually become a master, but you are the ruler of your own fate at that point. Chances are you have your own clients, you have your own ways of making ends meet. You're not depending on a corporation to have structure for you to either have to take classes to become functional within their workplace at all. You are the workplace. You dictate the flow.
Yeah. Now, on a much brighter note, though, guys, guess what? Guess what I did?
Yeah. What'd you do?
I 3D printed desk mounts for my joysticks. So I haven't screwed them in yet, so I can do this right now.
Yeah.
But dude, you know how much this would cost if you bought one? Like if you got like a cheap one, it would be like maybe $25 on Amazon, maybe 30. I think there might be cheap like mounts on Amazon.
I was expecting a lot more.
But this cost me like I don't know, like $7 or $8 of filament. It was a lot of filament, but well,
$7 or $8 is a lot of filament.
No, this was like 350 to 500 grams of filament. So that's, and it's about $15 for 1 kilogram.
Gotcha.
So this was half or less. So this was like somewhere around $5 to $7 to print it, which is a bargain.
Got you.
I'm pretty happy with it. It's pretty cool.
You did okay, man.
Yeah, that's at all.
You did okay,
Eric, what have you been up to?
Dude, it's been a whirlwind of a few weeks for sure. I feel like there's been a lot of trips, but the last week especially, obviously we had the new kittens, so it has been cat dad life.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing all that, and then of course we had senior nationals, so went and did judo for nationals.
Now, does this like 64 years old and up?
No.
Said senior.
This is everybody. So senior is 18 and up.
That's funny.
Essentially. Yeah.
That's like
Veterans is 30 and up.
That sounds like when you get into software development and after a year of work you become a senior engineer.
Bro, what?
They kind of consider that. So if you're a kid, they have the kid divisions. At some point they start to do the cadet divisions, which is like teenagers. And then once you hit 18, you start doing the senior divisions. You can do it before based on your weight, but senior allows for 18 plus people to be in it.
Okay.
That's which doesn't. Then once you get 30, you can fight in the veterans. But yeah, this is considered probably there's like 3 really big national level tournaments. This is one of them. So
Where was it?
it was in Alabama this year. So this one moves around because it's a USA Judo event. They do bids for different cities, just like the Olympics and other things like that. So different cities host it. And so this year it was in Birmingham, Alabama at the convention center, huge convention center. But it was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And we got to spend a day out in Birmingham, checking everything out. We went to the Civil Rights Museum there, which obviously for anybody who's not caught up on their civil rights movement history, that was one of, if not the last really big holdout in the South for the civil rights. And so a lot of stuff went down there, and there were just a lot of huge events that centered around Birmingham. And so the Civil Rights Museum there is really, really cool. They go into really cool details about all of the different figureheads from MLK to Reverend Shuttle. Oh my gosh, Shuttle. What's his name?
You, fam.
Shuttlecock. No. It's
Banned.
Shuttlesworth.
Banned on
Absolutely.
YouTube.
That's all it takes.
Reverend Fred Shuttlesworth, who they marched with MLK and all of that. So it's one of the coolest. It's got one of the craziest, impactful beginnings of a tour that I've been on in a museum. So the museum is a giant circle. So you go in, you start in like this huge room, and they're like, hey, wait here. A bunch of people group up, and at intervals, they go in and push you into a movie theater, and you watch a little 8-minute movie. And at the end of the 8-minute movie, the last thing you see is the TV commercial that's talking about the different water fountains that you have to use for the whites and the blacks. And right when that happens, it cuts to black, and the whole wall lifts up, and you're staring at the wall that they used in that commercial with the 2 different water fountains.
Wow.
Because it was in Birmingham. And it's just such a crazy start. And then you go on this huge circular journey going through time, essentially, of all the major events that happened in the Southeast, but centered in Birmingham. And of course, it's right across the street from the famous church that kind of spurred the huge impact of the civil rights movement, where the tragedy happened, where 4 kids were killed in a bombing that happened there. And yeah, it's a crazy historical place. But we got to spend the day there. We took all the kids there, and they got to walk through and learn a lot of that history. And then the next day we did the fights, and then went out to dinner and kind of like headed back. It was a super quick back and forth, but I am sore as crap.
Yep.
My fingers can't close all the way.
What do y'all eat after judo? Do y'all eat like a specific Asian food or anything like that, or do y'all just eat random stuff?
I will say the restaurant we went to was absolutely terrible. Me and Josh both were like
Garbage.
Our food is trash.
Well,
Oh,
get
no.
get this, Eric.
Which sucked.
There's Korean barbecue in our hometown.
Oh, Korean barbecue is so good.
My parents
Say
went
barbecue.
there.
Barbecue?
My parents went there. They got chicken.
Oh
What's it
my
called?
gosh.
They did some white people stuff.
Oh my gosh.
What's
They-
it called?
Hurts.
I don't know. But then you'll know where we lived. Also,
But what?
if
Wait,
you look for, if
they
you look it up,
do white people stuff. What do you mean they got chicken?
my parents said the most white people stuff. They went to Korean barbecue, and the only thing that they ate at the like buffet was chicken.
Oh.
And it was
You gotta-
a
you gotta
walk
get
up
the
buffet too.
pork belly.
It wasn't. I know. I told him get some bulgogi,
Wait,
get some
so
pork
so
belly.
wait.
Yep, I know.
Wait. So you went to K barbecue.
They did, yes, and they went to a walk up buffet, not the they bring it to you buffet at your.
So they
Table.
bogarted the chicken wings
Yep.
and just took the tray pretty much.
No. I mean, I don't. That's just. She said they ate the chicken.
Anthony,
What did they eat?
what did they eat?
She said it was mostly chicken and rice and japchae. I don't know.
Japchae?
And then waffles and salad stuff.
Waffles and salad. Okay, so they ate things other than the chicken, though. What?
Yeah.
I'm echoing for somebody.
Uh-oh.
Somebody check their audio. I'm echoing for somebody, or maybe I don't have everybody muted.
You're echoing
on my
through
end.
yourself. Yeah, because you're
I
not.
am?
You're not. I mean, you're not highlighting us, so it's something else. Like our green lights aren't popping in video.
No?
Wait,
My
say
highlights here.
I don't hear an echo on mine.
Echo.
That's weird.
You sound good to me.
Let me go ahead and make sure all of these are muted.
Anthony, does he sound good to you?
Yeah, he sounds fine to me.
Yeah, I'm the only one who's getting the echo, I think.
Must be you.
It must
Now,
be me.
but yeah, it's in. Are we allowed to say our hometown? Probably shouldn't.
Probably shouldn't.
You maybe not. Me and Nat could probably get away with it.
Yeah.
This is near the hometown. Anyways, it's at the place that's named after a street. You know, the more bougie area. So everything is whiteified, I would say.
Why the fact?
They still have Korean barbecue. They have bibimbap. They have hot stone pot. Like they have the proper tables where it gets cooked at your table and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
But it sounds like I've never heard of Korean barbecue having like a walk-up buffet that you.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been to some places that did that. So
Okay, so maybe it's normal then. I don't know.
yeah, I would say 6, 7, 8 is like a great example of an edge case of KBBQ. Honestly,
KBBQ.
I don't like when they won't let you cook your own meat in front of yourself. When they like make someone do it for you. I feel like that's weird.
see,
Oh, that's
I
embarrassing.
like it when people cook it for me.
Yeah,
like to
but
relax.
Yeah, but
I
like
to sit there and just
They
be
go
like,
to
"Tell me
hibachi."
when it's done.
right, like it's a weird situation because you've got it in between you guys, like in the middle of your table, and now you've got the server reaching over everybody to try to cook it when it's like positioned for you to cook it. It's like
They know how
fondue.
to cook it better.
It's supposed to be like
they just
fondue.
do it better. I love it. I love it.
It's not that hard, man. You put on the meat, you
Disgusting.
flip it over, and then you eat it.
Like
It's not
It
that
isn't-
hard.
It isn't that hard. I am okay with not doing it. I'm like, nah.
Eric, you need more Asian friends, okay? If you go with Hung, he'll do it for you every time.
Here's
He always
the thing.
just
I've done it before.
No.
I don't have a problem
No.
doing it. I want to go pay my money and get pampered.
Okay, so what are we drinking today, Princess Eric?
yeah, let's go ahead and tell us
Okay.
what we need to actually drink, Eric.
So today are
Pampered.
doing
Wow.
a blended bourbon whiskey. It is the Willem and Green triple cask blended bourbon whiskey.
You just
So-
said a lot of words. Hold on one second.
So triple
Let me-
cask, that's got to mean it's like 3 times bigger than everyone
Three
else, right?
times-
It's like a huge barrel, like a
The biggest.
jacuzzi barrel, right?
So usually that means that they're taking, or it's been through 3 different casks. So let's read a little bit. Here's what Flaviar has to say about it. Crafted with the spirit of innovation and tradition, Milliman Green Triple Cask Straight Bourbon Whiskey is a premium expression of dedication, expertise. This exquisite bourbon harmonizes the essence of Texas, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Each bottle hosts a meticulously selected combination of 3 to 4-year-old Texas bourbon for a vibrant spice, 3 to 5-year-old Kentucky bourbon for its lush vanilla and fruity undertones, and a seasoned Tennessee bourbon.
Seasoned, so like a month.
Robust structure. Yeah, we don't know. It doesn't say here. Proof perfection, bottled at 94 proof on site. The award-winning Macmillan and Green is a refined choice for discerning palates. We should be
Okay,
getting some
so-
vanilla, floral, spicy, creamy, smooth, warm, lingering, soft, silky, and only 2 of those were actual tastes, and the rest of them were feelings.
To be fair, though, I just sniffed this.
I haven't even poured mine, so I'm about to do my pour.
So what we have here is marketing at its worst, because
At its
they are
worst.
trying to coin this new thing, triple cask, to make you think that this is something special, like it went through 3 barrels or something.
That's what I would think.
Right, but it's not that at all, because you could call like almost every Bardstown you have a triple cask, a quadruple cask. It's just 3
Quad
blends.
cask.
Yes. it is
Each
the
was in
blends.
1 cask like normal. There's no triple cask.
There are
There's just 3
barrels
different
inside the
whiskeys
same- it's
being
just a blended
blended.
Whiskey, guys.
It's just a blended whiskey. Triple cask has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So they're off
pretty.
on the wrong foot.
Yeah, we got a nice amber color on this whiskey. It's a medium viscosity. It's not super oily, but it leaves some nice tails.
It's very. It
We got
smells very
some like
sweet.
cream floral vanilla on the nose.
Very floral. It's almost like a rye.
I could see that. It has like rye florality to it. Okay.
It's a lot of that vanilla on the top.
Yeah, I get like a creamy floral vanilla
Yeah.
bouquet, you know?
It's definitely not very. It's very welcoming.
Yeah, it's
definitely
kind
a-
of nice on the nose.
It's led us into the domicile without
I
shooting us in the
imagine
foot.
if you were to make a bouquet at the florist and just shove vanilla in between all of the flower, you would have the smell of this whiskey.
Oh, Miffy pooped somewhere.
Bad girl.
Oh no.
You heard that? Yeah, Miffy
Yeah.
pooped somewhere.
Smell's not really changing for me, but also I'm sick, so this is the first time I've been able to breathe through both noses.
Cheers,
Cheers,
friends.
my guys, to another episode.
Episode 54.
Wow.
Mm.
This might be the spiciest, like red hot candy whiskey I think we've had.
Oh,
Like I get red hots, like spicy red hots.
it's like a candy.
It does taste like a candy. It honestly, I get red hot, like the candy red hot. Almost 100%.
I haven't had candy in 15 years, so I can't really attest to that, but it is spicy.
It is spicy.
It's not
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's spicy. It's not powerful.
No.
It's all spice, not
Yeah.
no kick.
Yeah, 100%. I would say, for me, this is a red hot whiskey. It tastes like the candied red hots, and it's very distinctive, which is crazy. It's got like cinnamon pepperiness to it with vanilla and like that sucre, like the sucralose sugar.
Ooh. Sorry, it's already open, so you might want to double check that.
But there's nothing crazy bad about it. It's very much a candy dessert
It's
whiskey.
very. It's a crispy candy.
Yeah.
I have to get my wife to try it in order to find out if it's candy.
Tell her that it tastes like Red Hots. Give her that, and see if she agrees.
If you guys are hearing sniffs, it's me. Oh, baby girl, this is what you wanted.
What?
Okay,
But yeah, that is.
sweet baby.
It's not a bad whiskey. Let's see. Do I get fruity undertones? Additionally, do I get cream, lingering, warm, soft, and silky, or smooth as a flavor that I should be tasting? Because that's what Flaviar has decided to put on their tasting.
Flavors,
gosh.
no. Experiences, yes.
So I
would
think
say this is very smooth.
okay. Well, so for the spicy, I don't see it as spicy at all. I see it as lightly peppery.
Lightly peppery.
It's like
I
a.
think that's
it's-
where they're going with spicy. I'm not saying
I didn't want
That
it
isn't
to
the
like
case,
be
but-
like I'm not gonna expect a California Reaper coming out of this
yeah.
whiskey. I think it's more so spicy in the sense that like you get a lot of the spice herb
Yeah.
taste off of it rather than like heat.
Yes.
Like that flavor profile of like black pepper, cayenne,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Does
yeah.
that make sense, Sarah? It's,
Yes.
Anthony?
But not capsaicin.
No.
But it has a little tingliness to it. Similar. Again, I am stuck on the Red Hot. My mind is convinced that this is like drinking a glass of concentrated Red Hot.
It's definitely the floral. Like it almost gives me the vibe of a Japanese whiskey.
Really? I don't.
The
Well,
very top.
I guess for
very top.
me, I think more about the Mizuno White Oak.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
Like,
also like you have
I'm
to
not
also
getting
take
any
into
of the
account,
White
yes.
Oak type of thing.
You're not gonna get. I'm saying more so in terms of like
The
the
floral.
pronouncement of the floral note.
Ash senses the red hot. So we have our first ever viewer that is tasting at the same time as us.
Yes.
For those of you that do not know, we now have an event schedule
We
of
do.
sorts on our
need
Discord.
I need to get a
Ash,
soundboard
I need
so I
some
can make
mod
noises.
magic here. You are a mod. You are powerful. I need a exclamation point Discord command.
Wait,
I do that through Stream Elements on mine.
You should be able to just do it through Twitch.
Really? That
Yeah,
would be
it is
cool.
very cinnamony. Very cinnamony.
very cinnamony. Good.
I get that too. Which is a prevalent flavor in Red Hot.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay. Honestly, I
Yeah.
don't mind that it doesn't kick.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of kick. It's not super acetone or alcohol forward, which I think is fine for this whiskey. With that, Nat, do you already have a rating? Do you already have a good idea of where you're at for this whiskey?
This is a solid 4.
Solid 4. Daily drinker?
I daily drink this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, for my tastes, no. For like anybody else who are like who is interested in like drinking a whiskey that has like a nuance to it, yes. So I wouldn't say daily drinker for me. Like if I had a man, if I really wanted to bridge the gap between like those more thinner body whiskeys and I wanted to get into something
Cheers
a
and
little bit more spicy,
smooches?
yeah, I'd do this.
I didn't know it said cheers and smooches. I never saw that.
Cheers and
What-
smooches.
Cheers and smooches.
How can y'all hear this?
You didn't mute.
You didn't mute.
I did.
No.
I'm not coming through VDO. How am I coming through OBS for you guys?
You went through VDO.
No, it wasn't lighting. Oh, son of a.
It did.
Are
It went
you
through
the one
VDO.
who's giving the? I knew it. It wasn't me. I knew it wasn't me.
How am I coming through VDO if I'm muted? All right. Well, since the cat's out of the bag, I'm sorry. I was looking at my bullet that my wife got me
Oh,
that
the
says
sticker
Boardman's
says-
bottle.
Nice.
It's been like a year or so now, and I never noticed that at the top it says cheers and smooches. So,
Oh, that's nice.
and she's sitting over there, so I had to say thank you.
Aw.
Okay,
So,
am
Nat,
I
what would
screwing
you pay
y'all?
for this bottle?
Are you screwing the bottle?
The audio.
Yeah,
Not for me.
I'm still echoing, but I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out later.
It
to
might
back-
be the shared chat window.
Oh, did you mute the shared chat?
Pretty sure I did. Hold on, let me see.
Ruh-roh, Shaggy.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Oh man, it only mutes me to my stream mix.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Echo. Can I hear myself? Yeah, I can still hear myself.
Didn't fix it.
Damn.
Well, Nat,
Damn.
what would you pay for this whiskey?
I would pay.
Can y'all hear me now? Am I talking to you guys?
Yeah,
Damn
I
it!
can still hear you. I paid $40 for this.
$40. Okay.
Yeah. This is a solid whiskey though.
Yeah.
If they charged for more, I'd probably still get it like maybe like 50 or 60, but I would love to see it in 40. But yeah, no, this is fantastic. I love this. This was fun.
Anthony.
Oh, and also to back your sticker thing up, my wife did buy a bottle of like
Aw.
1791 like on
Oh.
the day of our elopement, and I still have the sticker for like the actual day
That's
and
pretty
everything.
dope.
That's really cool. I hear myself.
Oh,
Yeah, it says "Cheers to forever, Mahal Kita."
Oh,
My wife's super sweet. Okay, continue.
Anthony, what would you rate this whiskey?
well, once I can stop hearing myself. Okay, there was too much delay. I could hear myself and I couldn't speak.
Oh, no.
He's trying his best, guys.
I'm so sorry, y'all. This whiskey is meh. So definitely a 2. It is meh.
Oh,
Now
a 2? Oh,
you might think that he's sick. He can't smell. That's why. But guess what? I have bullet bourbon right here, and I can smell it just as well as I can smell that, and taste it just as well as I can taste that. And the bullet's better. To me, at least. Like this whiskey had that floral note, and it still smells like a normal sweet whiskey. But then when you taste it, it's just a light pepperiness. The viscosity is really low, so don't really care for that. I don't get the smoothness. Like if smooth equals it goes down easy, I don't think that's smooth. To me, that's not what smooth is. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a light pepperiness happening in the mouth and nothing else. So it's just kind of boring to me.
Okay.
okay.
A bit dull.
A bit dull, mate.
Mm-hmm.
A bit dull.
I mean, maybe I'm being harsh. Maybe not.
I think you're being harsh.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to set the vertical stream to public.
Okay,
Oh,
I
no.
want
Okay, now we're live on YouTube.
I want everybody to stop talking. I'm going to talk, and I'm going to see who's it's coming out of. It's coming out of everybody. If I talk, it comes out of both of you. If I'm talking right now and I'm looking at your little green bars and they're bouncing when I talk
in the control room. Where are
in the
you
control
looking?
room,
I do not see this.
I'm losing my freaking mind.
We come out of both for you in the control room?
When I talk, I hear myself through both of you.
Mm. When you talk, you only come through Nat for me.
Yeah, same.
Weird. Stupid.
The,
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking. Whatever. It's fine.
So, Anthony, what would you pay for this whiskey?
I mean, I could pay $10.
$10. Okay.
I just don't like it. I don't want it.
For me, I think this sits very comfortably at a 3.5. I think this sits at a spot where it is definitely a drinkable whiskey. It's got its fun moments. I definitely see a spot for it, but it's not quite into my flavor palette of like what I would go about drinking on a daily basis. But it's close. It's fun. I would definitely pick up a bottle of this. I could see myself drinking it. So
Okay.
would I daily drink it? Probably not, but I'd totally pick up a glass of this every now and then, which puts it right at a 3.5 for me. I think price-wise, I would love. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Look at that.
It works.
Heck yeah.
It works.
Okay. Sick.
That's pretty cool. Sorry, just had to try it
We
out.
made it.
Means we should also pop up on people's shorts feed.
Should.
Sometimes.
I was trying to do it that way first, but it just kept giving me like the same sort of stuff.
So,
Very cool.
what would I like to see price? I'd really like to see this in the $30 range, which is wonderful because you can find this for right $39.99. So this is a $40, which I don't feel is that bad. It's kind of unique. It's not trying to overtake one of the dominant flavor profiles.
Yeah.
It's trying to be something that's very different, in my opinion. It's a candy dessert whiskey, in my opinion, and it doesn't fit a flavor profile niche or palette. So it's going to be one of those divisive whiskeys where the people that like the flavor profile, you won't find this very often. Spicy cocktails, holiday parties, that is the time to kind of like enjoy this whiskey. I agree. If you ate Red Hots a lot while you were watching movies, this could be a great movie whiskey.
Speaking of movies, you reminded me earlier. Have y'all seen Mission Impossible 7? Do y'all like the Mission Impossibles?
I do. Which one is 7 the newest one?
Depends on your definition of newest.
It's
It's the one with the
Henry Cavill?
motorcycle. No, that one was great. I think that was actually MI5.
That's 2 movies ago.
2 movies.
Have you not seen MI6?
So I gotta remind myself.
MI6
I
is
don't
really
know.
good.
What is MI6 is the one with Henry Cavill.
No, that's MI5.
No, that's in my 5.
I'm literally looking at Henry Cavill on the MI6 trailer poster.
Oh, then MI4 is the one that's fucking gas.
Yeah,
MI4 is gas.
MI6
Yeah.
is with Henry Cavill. I'm looking at the IMDb.
Like no smoke on Henry Cavill. It's just like the 4th one was really good. 5th one was like, I don't know what we're doing here.
They were both pretty similar in ratings.
Well, y'all haven't seen Mission Impossible 7.
But y'all ain't seen Mission Impossible.
Is this girl in 6 too? Is Vanessa Kirby in both of them? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know that I've seen 7 yet. I think the last one I saw might have been the Henry Cavill one.
Well, you can watch 7 on, I think, probably Prime right now. Yeah. I probably shouldn't say anything about it.
Probably shouldn't.
I do like the Mission Impossible films.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I have not seen. I'm looking at some of the trailer sequences. I have not seen 7.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crazy stunt he does in 7 is driving a motorcycle off of a cliff.
Yep.
Yes, I have seen that particular scene because I've seen like all the craziness from him doing it. That's still not as crazy as in 6 when he broke his freaking foot, though. That stuff is crazy.
Yeah, that sucks.
He's a madman.
Yeah, him doing his own stunts is crazy.
At his age too, it's crazy.
Yeah, how old is he now? He's got to be like
It's like
60?
late 50s, I think.
No, he's 60 something.
He's
What's his name?
He's like super old.
let's see, how old is he? He is 62.
Whoa! So I was close. Okay, late 50s,
Yeah.
early 60s.
He is 62. That is wild. That is wild.
Dude is hanging on to airplanes as they take off. And he's like, man, I really got to get my colon checked out. Or something like that, you know.
He's just hanging on.
Boys, this was a good one. But now that we've closed it out, let's go ahead and beat this along the trail. What have we been playing?
What have we been playing? Oh, I do have a new game because I do have a new game that it just came out. There are a bunch of games that I want to play that I have not been able to do because of getting prepped for nationals and a few other things. So I will not be able to talk much on Claire Obscure this week.
Oof.
I did not get around to playing Doom or V Rising, unfortunately, although they are both on my list.
Oof.
But I wanted something that I could do like some quick games at. And it just came out the other day, and I knew I was going to play it, so I downloaded it, and I got a few little runs off on it, and that is Monster Train 2. Did either of you play the original Monster Train?
I watched it. I did not play it.
So,
I watched like somebody try it out, I think.
Monster Train is a really cool deck building roguelike card deck builder, similar to something like Slay the Spire, where over the course you choose different paths and you have to do fight boss monsters and all this kind of stuff, similar to Faster Than Light or something like that, but you get to choose different branching pathways and you get to build your deck as you go along. And I really love deck builders, and they're a lot of fun. So I played the original Monster Train, and I thought it was one of the most innovative versions of a roguelike deck builder. And so far, Monster Train 2 is just it with quadruple the cards. They were literally like, yeah, it's like crazy the amount of stuff that they added. They were just like, we're going to release essentially the same game, but you know how the first game had like 200 cards? We're just going to take all of those. You already love them. And we're going to add like 1,200 cards to them and make like 500 new enemy units. And just, there you go. Like, do you like that? Is that cool? And so far,
like
yeah, it's just really cool.
Gross.
And for those who haven't played Monster Train, picture something like Slay the Spire, except that you have different levels.
Layers. Yeah.
So you get to place monsters and units on different levels that you want. So you have this whole strategy of where the enemies will attack, and after they attack, they move up a level. And you have a giant boss on the top level, and if they kill that boss, you lose the run. But it's really innovative. It feels really different. It has really cool deck building aspects to it because you can build a deck around the different levels in your train. You can be like, oh, I'm always going to place my dragon on level 2 because he has this ability and I'm going to use these cards on him. But then I'm going to have this guy who has multi-strike on the back line of level 1, and I'm going to keep buffing him. So once they get to level 2, they have to beat a beefy dragon who's going to take him down. But the first level is going to multi-strike, just sacrifice everything to try and kill everything. And it's got all these different aspects to it that other deck builders just don't have. It literally just adds a whole new layer on top of every other deck builder that's out there. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun so far. I will say it is the original. So if you play the first Monster Hunter or Monster Train,
you're playing the second one already.
Yeah, you're going to love the second one. If you didn't like the first Monster Train, there's nothing crazy different here. They just did more of the awesomeness from the first game better. So take with it what you will, but I tried that out. It was super fun. Outside of that, I've really only been able to do some off-stream Morrowind Oblivion. Still enjoying that. The remaster is great.
Sick.
It's been really good. What have y'all been playing?
Anthony, you want to go first? Mine's short but pretty sweet.
Well, before I do, y'all like National Treasure style movies, right? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I loved. At one point in my life, I had the entirety of National Treasure memorized. I could recite it off of memory.
Wow. Okay,
boy.
well, then I
Man,
think
the
you
myth
will enjoy this new movie called Fountain of Youth. It's an Apple TV movie, so it's already available on there. And it's John Krasinski and Natalie Portman. And we just watched it last night, and it's exactly what you'd want. You know, if
everything
National
you want.
Treasure is a style of movie, you know, like what do you call those other ones? Indiana Jones and
Yeah.
Da Vinci Code. Like, it is that style of movie precisely.
Okay.
And
I National Treasure, and I do love John Krasinski and Natalie Portman, so I'm in.
it was very fun. Highly recommend. What have I been playing? I probably played a bit of V Rising, but ever since our power went out, I haven't booted back up the server, and Ash hasn't asked to play. So,
Aw.
so I haven't done that since the power went out a while ago. But I did want to mention that I did finally run into something new in V Rising called the Treasure Room.
The treasure room.
If you put the treasure flooring in a room, then every single thing in that room that is a container is now available for the entire castle.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, so you go
That's so
to
good.
craft something.
Oh.
It's all there. You no longer have to run to a room,
What a
get stuff,
smart way
and
to
bring
do
it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember, we would always have a treasure room anyways. Like, you'd walk in,
Yeah.
boom, there's the treasure room, drop everything off, and then it's like, oh, now I got to craft. Okay, let's
you
go to
learn
the
more
treasure
about that.
room,
Yeah.
bring it to the room where we're crafting. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to walk it all the way back, so let's make another container in this room.
Yeah.
Now you don't have to worry about that at all. You just
That helps
Infuriating.
so
Awesome
much with,
treasure
like,
room.
PvP too, where they have the multi-layer, and the treasure room is usually on the highest layer in the
Yeah.
center through the
Mhm.
most maze-like structure, and it was a nightmare to deal with, like, getting stuff to and from that room.
yeah.
So now they probably don't even have to worry about it, which is great.
Yeah, so that's a
Sick, man.
insane quality of life improvement that absolutely enjoy it. I think other than that, I've just finally been playing Star Citizen again.
For
And
you, man.
it's been really great, especially with these new flight controller mounts or whatever, flight stick mounts.
Mhm.
And catch this.
Catch it.
So I can't remember if I talked to y'all much about the Polaris, and it's like a capital ship known as a
Mhm.
Corvette. It's big. I don't know if y'all got to be
One
on
of the
it or
biggest
see
ships
it.
in the game. Yeah.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh.
A bigger one is now available called the Idris.
The Idris.
So if you can imagine, the Polaris had like a hangar that's comes from above it, right? So you could land a ship on it, right?
Mhm.
The Idris has a hangar that is a pass-through. So it has
Ooh.
a rear opening and a front opening, and it looks like a hammerhead shark. Or not a hammerhead shark, sorry. There's actually a ship called the Hammerhead. It looks like a very intimidating shark.
Just to give
the-
Nat like the sense of scale here, the Idris is 2.5 football fields long and 1.5 football fields wide.
Yeah, dude. In game, it takes like minutes to run from the front to the back of the ship.
I'm looking at images.
It is so cool, dude, because
She's a big girl.
I mean, it's an aircraft carrier, really. Like, it is literally it's supposed to be the main ship in Squadron 42. Now, originally they were like, we're not going to release this before Squadron 42. We don't want to spoil Squadron 42. But internally, now they've realized, okay, the Squadron 42 version of this ship is different from what we've got available that we can give them now. So we're not going to be spoiling anything. Like there might be some similarities, but like it's going to be a different ship.
It looks like a battleship.
It is, dude. And it has so many turrets. It has a hangar below its hangar for a little cargo ship called like the Argo whatever. And it's been so much fun lately to board it and take it over. So what you do is you take a small sneaky ship or even a small hover bike that has like a shotgun, like a big shotgun on the front, you know, a vehicle-sized shotgun.
So you can punch a hole in the hull to get in.
Yes, because it's a ballistic instead of an energy weapon. Energy weapons get fully blocked by a shield, but ballistics only get half blocked. So you get behind these ships while they're doing whatever they're doing, and you shoot at the hangar door. When you do enough damage, honestly, it doesn't take that long. It opens. Did I freeze?
Yes, you did.
You did.
Okay, that might just be. I think I can fix that. I think that's just my camera. Yeah. So, anyways, when you shoot open the door, it opens, of course, and then you have a really big opening to squeeze into. Right. So it's really not that hard to pilot your way in, and then now you've boarded their ship. Now get this. There are fuses all over the place in panels, right? Because engineering gameplay is coming, and that's going to be one of the things where fuses get blown. Well, right now, if you pull those fuses, things start to turn off.
Wow, that's fucked. So you're just turning off the ship as you go through.
Yeah, you get on, you start going, and you start taking all the fuses out. Then you want to go and hide them somewhere, like their briefing room or something. You take them all out in case they kill you. And even more, if you can make it to their med bay, you can set your respawn on their ship. Now, they can reset it to get you off, but that would reset everybody at the same time. So if you're not by yourself, if they reset it and they start getting killed, it's just, dude, it is so much fun to steal this $2,000 ship.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's the funniest thing to me. Like, I go on the Star Citizen Reddit all the time, and constantly there's people complaining about, oh my god, why are they selling a ship that costs this much? Oh my god, why are they selling these? There's this new thing called Blades, which is like a computer upgrade for your ship, and it will slightly improve your top speed or slightly improve your maneuverability. It's a brand new thing, right? Costs like a few bucks. And people are like, oh god, I hate this. Why would they do this? This is so pay to win. This is so weird. And I responded, I was like, yeah, why are they adding all this stuff that I can steal for free from people that pay money for it? God, that sucks. I'm so tired of them adding new content for me for free.
Oh no.
Because I mean,
What am I
it's
gonna
so
do
cool,
with all these free things that I stole?
right?
Hmm.
And I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah.
You're a bad
It's so much
person.
fun. I don't know.
You're a bad person. In video games, let me clarify. In video games, you are a bad person.
I think the ship, it might have at one point cost $1,500, but I'm pretty sure the version that people were trying to purchase right now is $1,900. Yeah.
Wait.
If you want to buy it with real money, yeah.
Wait.
Hey, it's
Now, I will remind everybody, all ships will
You
be...
didn't wait. You didn't wait, Anthony. I asked you to wait, and you just kept talking like this was normal.
All right, I'm waiting.
People spend $1,500 on a ship in this game. $1,900.
Yeah.
People spend $1,900 on a ship in this game.
Somebody is.
They do.
Somebody is.
A lot of people. Now, get this.
And this game
well, no,
is
actually,
not
no,
done.
They had to. I mean, it's not done, and it does have bugs that have been vastly improved, but I argue that it's better than a lot of games that are done.
Right. I'm more so saying in a sense that, like, it's more a category of the game is not finished and people are still able to spend like $1,500 to $2,000 on items in the game.
Yeah.
More so than the quality of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's obscene, Anthony.
No, I mean, how are you going to fund the game? How are you gonna pay for it?
I guess
somebody has to pay for it. And if you want it to be private parties like Activision or Blizzard or someone that's rich, then you can't have the game that is coming out because they will just neuter it like they do most modern games. It's just crowdfunding, and I mean, there's people that have the money for that, and it's no big deal to them.
Yeah.
Like, think about it this
They wanna
way.
pay for it.
Think about it this way,
I
Nat.
dropped $2,000 on a ship. And
Nat.
there are people like Hypnotech who play the game
Nat,
and just steal your shit for fun or blow it up for fun.
Nat, there are people that spend $200 a week going to the bar on Friday. That's $800 a month. In less than 3 months, if this is your main hobby, 3 months, that's $2,400. So most people will be like, oh yeah, spending $2,400 over 3 months on going out to the bar is okay, but spending less than that on a video game is not okay.
I
And
hate that you did the math for this.
it just think about it that way. It's a hobby.
I know.
And it's not weird if you look at it that way. It's weird because you're used to, a game cost $60. A game costs $40.
Now.
Game costs $80, right? And it's the weird thing is you're not even actually buying the game. You're buying permission to play the game.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's like you have already bought permission to play the game, but you are trying to make the game happen.
Wow.
Like you're trying to fund it. You're trying to make the project actually finish.
You're trying to finish it by throwing money at the problem. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Now, like if you think about it this way, perhaps after Star Citizen and Squadron 42 come out successfully, perhaps they can actually make other games without having to crowdfund it. If they have enough income from pre-existing Star Citizen Squadron 42.
Big if there.
Now, I think they'll just forever develop Star Citizen. I don't think. I mean, maybe they'd come out with Squadron 43 or something like that, right?
They still have so much that, like,
that game's never going to be done. It's going to be like World of Warcraft. It's forever.
Yeah. It's just gonna.
Which is what most of us want. We don't want like World of Warcraft 2. We want better World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like,
Although at this point, I do have to say that that leads to an interesting conundrum, though, because you do hope that it doesn't turn out like World of Warcraft, where the vision and direction separated so far from what people wanted,
Bro.
that people now want World of Warcraft 2, not because they don't want just a better World of Warcraft, but because the vision and direction in World of Warcraft is so separate from what people want now.
They just
that
want
they
to
would have
reset.
to reset and redo a new game to be able to get somewhere even close.
Because it's just so far left field.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I mean, like, it's not fair to the developers. It's a good game. It's just not the game that people want to play when they think about World of Warcraft.
player housing is out.
I do think it's
Is it out?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's out, but I know that Taliesin and
It's in
Evertel got to try it.
Yeah, it's in the public test, I think.
Wow.
So I don't know anything about
I
it.
think that World of Warcraft still is in one of the best states it's been in. I think the biggest problem is
I think it's fading fast.
I still think the gameplay actually is in one of the best states
I'm
it's
not
ever
saying
been in.
gameplay. I'm more so saying like the reputation of the game.
I think that could be fair. But I do think that the reward for effort is still at a really bad place in one of the worst places it's been in. The gameplay is back to being where I would want it to be. But the reward for your effort that you put in still feels really bad. So like if you put in 60 hours into the game, it doesn't feel like you earned 60 hours worth of effort.
Resources. Or effort,
So-
But in Classic and Burning Crusade and even Lich King to a large degree, you put in 60 hours and you felt 60 hours out of it.
yeah.
And that doesn't happen anymore.
So you reminded me because I was told to wait and I forgot about it. Speaking of effort, in Star Citizen, the Polaris, the second biggest ship now, was $1,000 real life money, right? You can already earn it in game. You can't buy it in game,
But
I
you
don't
can-
know if you'll ever be able to buy it in game. I know you should always be able to like craft certain things, but when it comes to these really big military ships, they're trying to make it not as easy to acquire. So right now you have to go through a decent grind of sorts of turning in favors to this alien dude and eventually like crafting through him the Polaris. So I don't know. I just think that's pretty neat that they already have something rewarding for your efforts like you're talking about with WoW, where it's like that is the legendary item, right? It's like, look, I paid $40 to play this game, which by the way, yeah, you can play Star Citizen for $40. And now I have a ship that all these silly people paid $1,000 for. And I didn't. And it's like, that's nice.
Sucks to your ass, Mar.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
So,
Dark.
totally separate topic
Mm.
because I feel like it's worth talking about.
Okay.
I have not seen the finale of The Last of Us Season 2.
The
But
finale's out?
Is it done?
the finale is out.
The Last of Us
As of
finale is
last
out.
night. Yeah, last night was the finale, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I saw the finale. After that was
Played the
episode
game.
3, right?
So, Anthony has now, he's totally off the train.
Yeah.
But, Nat, have you seen the finale?
Dude, no.
So
I stopped watching after that.
when
I saw
did you-
the casting for Ellie. Sorry, for Abby.
Oh, so you haven't seen you saw the finale of season 1.
I saw everything. I stopped after I felt as if the director and whoever was writing for the show showed that they did not know what they were doing with the message for the show.
Oh yeah.
So Anthony.
Yeah.
Because now we have seen kind of where we're going.
Yeah.
And now we have seen, because here's the thing. The Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2. To kind of go through this, because Anthony probably will, it kind of knows all this. This isn't spoiler-esque stuff. But obviously, our main guy from Part 1,
It's gone.
dies, gets killed.
But then he comes
Right.
back.
Well, he comes back for cameos and flashbacks, obviously, but
Okay.
he doesn't come back permanently.
I will say that for some reason it was on and I happened to be in the room. Okay. So I might have seen a few more
okay.
episodes
Okay.
because my
Either
wife.
way,
But I just don't understand why we couldn't have started with the flashbacks.
so
Like
there's
literally.
some reasons for that
It's
aren't
just
done
like
well. I'm just going to say
episode 1. Let's start with year 1. Year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. You could have done that.
there was a
Go ahead,
reason
get
they
another
didn't
drink.
do that in the games, but the show doesn't do a good job of dictating that.
No, it does not.
Here's the problem that we have now run into. In the games, you have a first part of Last of Us where you go through, she gets in, and Joel does the event, kills everybody, and makes the
event.
choice.
Yeah.
He makes his big choice, right?
Ooh. Before you move on, the director came out and said that if he had let Ellie stay and he hadn't killed the entire hospital, they would have discovered the cure.
That wasn't the director either. That wasn't the director of the show,
wasn't?
just to be clear.
No,
that was the
game
co-director of the game.
Yeah.
Came out and said that is the case, which
Yeah.
I do think is fine for the game. Because I think Joel having that choice is really interesting, and I think it plays into what the game's trying to tell. Then you have the first the time skip,
Yep.
and then Joel dies.
Yep.
And that's all within the first opening cinematic, essentially, of the second part of the game. Because the second part of the game is no longer Joel's choice. It is Ellie's choice.
It was
And
Ellie's
what
choice.
she chooses to do. Yes, going forward. And in the game, those are done brilliantly. And the storytelling is done really well. Because Ellie is done really well in part 2 of the game.
Yes.
And I think somebody really did it, that like said exactly in the show. In the game, you have a child Ellie in part 1 that is jovial, that you fall in love with as a child.
Correct.
In part 2, you have a broken young adult woman like coming into her own.
Yeah.
But in the show,
you witness a darker form of adolescence.
yes. But in the show, you still have a child jovial Ellie.
Yeah.
And Ellie
Yeah,
can
they're
carry
like-
the show.
They're like, oh, hey, so she was 12. Now she's 17. And you're like, you mean 13? Because
Well,
she
see,
looks like she's the same.
Yeah, it's
She
even
doesn't
worse
look
too,
any
because
different.
it's supposed to be like 14 to 19.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's essentially supposed to be,
On the cusp of becoming like full adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And the problem that you have,
They changed it to 12 to 17 in the show.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
What's the freaking point? No, I know so. Because I remember in the episode, it was like her 17th birthday.
Yeah. Then that's, with that being the case, yeah, they did it because the actress doesn't look that different. Right?
Yeah. They don't have the Harry
I-
Potter effect.
I now am convinced that they should have done the Game of Thrones decision, even though it was jarring in Game of Thrones.
To recast her.
They should have recast.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If you want to do a
Yeah.
5-year time skip,
Yeah.
yes, you have to. She
Yeah.
looks like a child.
Yeah,
How old is that actress?
It's such a
I think
hard
she's-
choice to make because the actress who did Ellie in the first act captured quintessentially what Ellie is
Yeah,
within
she
the
did
first
great.
game. She does
Here's
a
the
great
problem.
job.
She plays
She's
the
21?
child-
She
Yeah.
plays the child.
She
plays
plays
the child.
the
of Ellie.
child
Yeah.
version of Ellie very well.
Yeah.
The
She is
problem
not
is
the adult version of Ellie.
She doesn't play the adult she doesn't play the
Eric.
broken adult version of Ellie well at
No.
all.
Can we talk about the weirdly excessive amount of guitar song moments that occur?
That's part of the game.
Yeah,
Dude,
but here's
we
the
go
thing.
from
They
having
lean into it.
the
far
first
more
one
in
was
the show.
amazing in the show.
Well, but
Second one
also-
was weird. Third one was weird. They were too
Go ahead.
often.
Go ahead, Eric.
Sorry.
So in the
Yeah, no, you're
game,
good. You're good. You're good.
You have hours
Yeah.
of content in between those huge moments. And here's the thing.
The show's like
every
15
time-
minutes.
It's only 2.
Yeah.
Isn't it only 2, Eric? It's like,
No,
sorry,
they-
3.
They have 3.
Guitar
Yeah.
moments?
Not including
It's 3.
the
Yeah.
the fourth and final one where it doesn't actually result in guitar playing. Just for
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
There were two in a
Wait, there's 4 of that?
There's 4 total guitar moments in the game.
Joel. Okay, yeah.
But in the show there's like 2 in a row. There in one episode there's
Exactly.
a really good one, and then like 15 minutes later there's not a good one, and you're just like, what? Wait, we literally just did this. Why are we doing this again?
The problem with that, Anthony, is that in the game, those guitar moments are some of the most impactful, important pieces
They're
of
like
storytelling
bookmarks.
in the game. They're bookmarks in the game.
Yeah.
But they're hours apart in gameplay. You got to remember, this is a 40-hour game,
Yeah.
essentially. And
So they should at
these
least be an
come
episode apart.
at like, but
Yes.
the problem is they're trying to tell 20 hours of gameplay in one season and 20 hours of gameplay in the second season. And all the guitar moments happen in like hour 5, hour 12,
Eric,
hour 20.
Eric.
And then there's a final one at the very, very end that is the climax of this entire decision story. It hits you so hard in the game. But the problem is that is all within 8 episodes. And honestly, within
I
two
think
episodes.
they still could have done it though. I
Well,
still think they could have done it.
Nat, they have so much they have to cover.
I know. No, I'm
Well,
saying
but
that
that's what's
if
the
they wanted to,
mistake.
If they wanted to do canon, if they wanted to do canon,
You shouldn't
I
do
get that.
canon. You
Yes,
shouldn't do
can't-
canon.
You can't fit it. But if you wanted to go ahead and still have that bookmark moment where like two very distinct, very different people are now attempting to play guitar.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much what that's supposed to convey. Like you are no longer the same. You cannot be that person anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's just reinforcing what Nat said early on, which is that the writers don't know what they're doing.
They don't
Because
know what they're doing.
when you adapt a book or a game or anything to another form of media, you should be doing it over in a way. It is an alternate reality version of this in a different medium.
There are
You shouldn't be trying to
limitations that,
match.
but yes,
You shouldn't be trying to match the moments in the book or in the game. You should be doing a movie version of it, doing a show version of it. Just don't do those things, because that's what bothers people. It should be so different but similar. It's like going from watching The Amazing Spider-Man to like, I don't know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. It's like they're both Spider-Man, they're both enjoyable, but they're very different.
Yeah.
Different
I
universe.
truly think that they should have recasted Ellie for the adult version.
yeah.
2, they should have broken part 2 into 3 seasons. They should have done. I heavily
Go ahead,
think
continue. Yeah,
they
yeah.
should have done the first season up to Joel's death. That should have been the season finale of season 2. Then that should have, or it could have been the mid-season
Could have been
finale
2
and the
seasons.
flashbacks.
Could have been 2 seasons.
Could have been.
I understand what you're saying. Go ahead, continue. My bad. Go ahead.
They use the town season. They do it differently from the games. They essentially have a town season that covers the 5 years in Joel's death, and they could do it through flashbacks if they want to. The season finale could have been her and Dina leaving, right? And they could have had some flashback thrown in there in the town. They could have done Joel's death on like season 3, and it could have been abrupt. Then do the rest of the season telling the story of the town, getting to know Jesse, getting to know these important characters, building these ideas, these flashbacks, the Joel connections, and all of that, while getting used to the new Ellie in this safe space. Converting your mind into being like, new actress, but she's Ellie. I get where she came from.
I get that, yeah.
Right? Then it won't have Joel. That have this new lead cast that you took a season to get used to, and it took a second. Now she gets to come into her own, just like Ellie does, to carry what is one of the most heartbreaking storylines ever done without her father figure, in a way that connects you over the course of 2 seasons of all the shit they have to cover. And now what you have, Anthony, is one of these guitar sequences per season.
Yeah.
With the very final few
One
episodes
being
doing the final one.
Oh.
And they're a season apart.
Did you just poop?
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
I'm sorry, but I just found the actress that they should have used because someone else found it.
No,
Here.
the actress they should have used is the girl who plays Abby, is the problem.
Like the voice actress? Oh, wait, that's not the same. No.
No, not the voice actress.
No.
Does that link work for you guys?
What's Ashley Johnson could not play Ellie.
I
mean, she is Ellie, but she
I
can't
know.
play Ellie.
No,
It's hard.
that's just because
So-
of who you've seen her play. You don't
So
know
funnily enough,
No, I know this because I know her
Dude.
from outside of the game. I've seen her in Critical Role. She
Yeah.
doesn't look like Ellie. When you show the video game version of Ellie and you see Ashley Johnson, it's not the same.
funnily enough, the actor who plays Abby, Caitlin Dever, looks and acts and
Like
does her
teenage
scenes
Abby.
as Abby exactly like
Teenage
the
Abby.
Ellie from the game.
Yeah.
Funnily enough,
Ellie, sorry.
the Abby
that plays in the show, when she does the Joel killing scene, she acts more like Ellie when
she does, yeah.
is in the basement scene than the Bella does doing Ellie. And Caitlin Dever is not Abby from the games. She doesn't play like Abby. She plays the game like she acts like she is.
Abby is supposed to be a unit. I keep saying this.
Yes.
I keep saying this, and I will never come off this mountain.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Caitlin, I stand by it. Caitlin Dever should. I agree with the internet as a whole, because this is a whole internet thing. Everybody has talked about this. They've done full breakdowns of how Caitlin Dever is playing Abby exactly like Ellie should be played.
Mm-hmm.
And how that works.
And we're just missing an Abby.
And we're just missing an Abby. And
it's hilarious how tiny
Dever,
she is compared
but
to
that's
what
how
she's
Ellie
supposed to
is.
be.
That's how Ellie is
Yeah.
supposed to
Ellie
be.
is tiny. She
Which
is
would be great.
supposed to be like that. Caitlin Dever
And it's-
would do so great. And
and it's-
Abby's like 250 pounds pure muscle.
And it's supposed to be
6'5".
It's supposed to be the reason why it's supposed to be this like David and Goliath kind of
Yes.
like aspect to their
that is
to their
part of the
entire
game.
thing.
Like part of the game is the fact that Ellie is a weak, meek, strategic
Small
fighter,
girl, and
Abby is a badass.
Dude,
right?
you know who would have been great for Abby? Oh,
Who
man.
would've been
They
great
might have
for
had to
Abby?
dye her hair. I just saw a picture of her, but I can't remember her freaking name. Rhonda? Rowdy Rhonda.
Ronda Rousey.
Ronda
Rousey.
Dude, right?
Yeah, she would have been.
I
good.
could
If
see
she
that.
killed Joel, I'd be
If
like,
she- if
yeah,
she could-
that's
if
fine.
She could act. If she could like.
Yeah,
if she
that's
could,
the problem. Ronda
if
Rousey.
she could act.
I think
Yeah,
she's
a
been
rough
acting.
Actress. She has, but she's rough. I actually think the better person for it, even though everybody hates her, is the girl from The Mandalorian. You would dye her hair.
Oh no! Everybody hates her. No,
Everybody hates her, but I feel like
she'd be a perfect fit. But
exactly,
no.
exactly.
I don't think I've seen her in anything since.
She's
since
pretty
Mando.
much been. She's been outcast in like.
Oh,
the
that
African
girl.
community.
She's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool. The
She'd be
one,
perfect.
she's all I
But
like.
it's too bad that she's,
She's the best.
Yeah.
So I did want to say that like I think Eric's totally right about the recast thing. And in most cases, people have never seen a good recast. So no one would agree. But if you want to see a good recast, watch Superman and Lois. Because it happens, and at first you have the same reaction you always have. You're like, why? No, I loved that guy.
And
What
then you're
happened
like,
to him?
Wait, I love this guy.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like they
Yeah,
literally did
I've
a
seen
few
it.
episodes of transfer, and it's like, I mean, he could have
See,
been him the
I
whole
think
time.
Everybody who doesn't like recast just needs to watch Doctor Who.
Yeah, just get used to it.
Because like Doctor Who, every single time the Doctor switches, yes, it feels weird, it feels harsh, and that becomes part of the story, and you
Yeah.
still fall in love with the new Doctor and their quirks and their differences.
From
right.
the original Doctor that you possibly have started
Yes.
from, and it's
Whichever
always
one you
just building
started
off
with-
the archetype.
Yes, you obviously love the one that you started with more
Like,
than
I'm a David
all the
Tennant.
rest. Yeah, me too. I
Just
love
is.
David Tennant. But you know what? I fell in love with Matt Smith, and I fell in love with
Have you all seen the new one?
Peter Capaldi.
Played by Eric or not Eric, but he played Eric in Sex
I-
Education.
I haven't. I want to
No,
catch
I
up
haven't.
again with Doctor Who, but I've only watched up to Peter Capaldi's Doctor so far.
Peter Capaldi is really good.
Yeah, Peter Capaldi is just a great actor.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so to go ahead and get back to what you were saying, I don't think 3 seasons is what you need. I think you need 2 seasons. I think you need 1 season where you soften the blow of the shift of the character, but not the blow of losing Joel.
But wait, we're getting 2
I don't
seasons.
know. I don't know how you do it,
But we're getting 2
But you-
seasons,
but
and it's
you-
already not enough
but-
time.
but Eric, we already know right now, based on what we're seeing, that they don't know what they're doing. So let's go ahead and assume that somebody knows what they're doing, right?
I mean,
Let's remove the fact that what we have seen is not
So
canon.
what you're saying, 2 seasons was fine. The writers
think-
just need to be
I
kicked
think
out,
the
and we need
writers-
new
Well, think-
writers.
Dude,
think
That's
about
fair.
it this
Are you-
way.
fair.
are you kidding
I'm
me?
not arguing that. I am
Okay.
just saying that I think with better writers, 3 seasons and a recast.
Three-
So-
Eric, Of course, 3 seasons would be better. If we had godly directors and we had 3 seasons, we'd have a wonderful time. But that's not the situation we're in.
Think about it this way. Okay, you take a book and you make a movie. They're very similar things already.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, and it's always like, yeah, if you could do more, it would be better because you could get more of the book into the movie or the show, right? Now, we have a video game. There's a huge difference between a video game and a movie or a book. You are making decisions. You are doing the thing.
Edge Runners?
That was an offshoot. It's not it's not trying to redo the entire game that you play. It's doing part of the universe within the game, which is why it's successful. You're taking if a game is good, why is it good? Well, there's an involvement of the player doing things. Now you want to do a 1-to-1 transition, it's guaranteed to be bad because part of the goodness has to be in the fact that you were involved. And that's why I so much more say that it needs a rewrite. You make the same universe, the same idea, the same Cosmere, if you will, but it's not the same timeline. It's a branching timeline or whatever you want to do. It's just different.
You know what a good example of this is? And it's recently, actually, unfortunately, been announced that it's canceled. Wheel of Time.
Ha! That I can't get past how terrible the female writing and sexism is.
The 3rd season is really good.
That's what I've heard.
And the writers,
that 2nd season is rough though.
It's really bad.
But the book series doesn't get good until Brandon Sanderson writes it.
Don't read the books. As
Well,
somebody who
actually-
read 8
actually,
books, don't read the books.
The first 3 books are amazing. The middle 10 books are absolute garbage. And then the last 3 books are
Don't
really
do this. Don't do this. It's time that you put into a hole that you'll never get back, and I understand that. We're in the same situation. The books were not that great.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So how old were you when you read the books?
I was 17. 16? 17. Yeah.
Okay, Eric?
Have you read the first book recently?
Eric, how old were you?
I've reread it.
No, when you first read them, how old were you?
God, how far am I into this?
This is important.
I would have been 13, 14.
Good.
Right now.
I need y'all to know. It's important that y'all were so young and immature when you read those books, because that means that if you read them as a mature adult that understands potentially women, now if you read them, you might understand how terrible they are and how sexist they are and how they're not actually able to write women.
Anthony, those roles don't really leverage in the first 3 books until book 4 and onwards. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. The first book, I would argue, is one of the better openings to a fantasy epic that exists. They studied that in college.
Yeah, it's one of.
It is on the top shelf of if you like fantasy epics or you want to write fantasy epics, this is what you learn from.
Eric, I have a question. Well, no, sorry, I have a statement to follow that. I feel like those same courses also say that Lord of the Rings is one of the greatest series to read, and I would honestly tell people to go ahead and skip the first third of the first book.
I disagree entirely, and
Eric,
I have been convinced. No. I
understand.
No.
I understand.
I disagree.
And I've read it.
You cannot. So, there are 2 important characters that define the lore that gives the feeling to how the Lord of the Rings world is, that are introduced in the start of the Fellowship of the Ring, that give you a feeling in that story that does not exist until it doesn't exist after that. And that is oh my gosh, what's his name? The guy who leads them across the river of
Bombadil?
Ararin. No, Bombadil is one of them, but the other is Galad. No, gosh,
not Galadriel. No,
not Galadriel.
Type. While he's typing,
It's so what's her name
fuck.
replaces him in
Liv Tyler's character.
yes.
Yeah,
It's not Arwen in the books. It's
someone
Glorfindel.
else. Glorfindel.
Glorfindel, because Glorfindel is telling them stories that shape how the world was.
Right.
It touches on things like the singers. It touches on things like the valor, right? Things that do not make sense once you get past that first part of the story, but are so important for making the world mystical. There is a reason that when the Balrog comes in to face Gandalf, it is so scary,
Yeah.
because you know at that point
He's
in
a
the books
global level threat.
what
Yeah.
Gandalf is and why that's important.
Yeah.
When you understand who Gandalf actually is from the beginning of the Fellowship, which is there right in front of you, even if you don't understand what it fully is yet, when you figure out Tom Bombadil can play around with the ring,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa,
Whoa. Yeah.
Gandalf can't do that. And Gandalf is a literal angel of the Lord.
Let's be real though. Tom Bombadil is like kind of a character, kind of an author insert. Like he's got a woman that's like the most beautiful creature in all the land. He's just like a dude who lives in the forest, living his best life.
But he is the
But
difference.
also, yeah.
He is the metaphor for the wall between childhood and adulthood. Because you have
Yeah.
to remember, the whole first quarter of the Fellowship of the Ring is the simile for Frodo and the entirety of the Hobbiton and the Shire, which is a simile for childhood and freedom.
It's boring.
But it's important
It's important for the book.
for the feeling of fantasy in the book.
Let me go ahead and put a bookmark on this piece because I feel like I have raised an issue that is not so much synonymous with the argument that we have against The Last of Us. I am not saying not with Last of Us, with The Wheel of Time. I am not saying that The Lord of the Rings is not one of the greatest pieces of literature in our time. I'm just saying there are parts of the book that bore this fucking shit out of me. It just is what it is. Like, I don't need to know the recipes. I don't need to know the songs. I understand that the songs are important.
I agree.
And it's written for a certain time. I get it. Not my thing.
I get that.
So
That's fair.
The
'Cause
reason why
it is
I
a
say
different
it, yeah.
era
The reason why I say it for this Wheel of Time series is because with the movies, we had a adaptation that was largely accepted as well done. Largely. I'm not saying that there's not issues.
With Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings were the best done movies depicting
I'm
a
not
high
saying that there's
fantasy
not issues.
book of all time.
Shut up. I'm not saying that there's not issues, okay? Take the look off your face, Eric. A lot of people like those movies.
I don't know about
Eric.
season 2.
Eric.
Are you talking about Lord of the Rings or
As
something
a
else?
whole, the Lord of the Rings books did very well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And the
I'm talking
movies.
I'm talking about the movies.
The movies did amazing.
Yeah. When we talk about other renditions of this, when we talk about Wheel of Time, when they tried to do the TV thing, I feel like there was a bit of an issue that we're kind of seeing also with The Last of Us, in the sense that the directors were only able to do so much, or they just didn't have the capability to go ahead and perform the way that they needed to.
I just don't understand how you guys and so many people can get past the 50s, 60s way of thinking about women and articulating them thing. It's so bad.
No.
Like
let me make one thing very clear.
It's so
I did
bad.
not finish The Wheel of Time. I did not. Let me first say that.
We
Second
couldn't
of
get
all-
past the first 20 minutes of the show. We were like,
Second of all,
this
is before I discovered not Robert Jordan. This is before I
Now, what I was saying earlier is that when y'all read them when you were young, that's like completely reasonable because as a young boy, as a young teenager, you have no idea necessarily that you've got this guy writing women. You're not necessarily.
You do.
It depends on your upbringing.
Maybe I was different then because I definitely clued into like book 4. I was like, wow, they're really talking about like everybody has a huge chest. What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Robert Jordan was terrible at writing women. I think it is more that the world building and the story that he is trying to tell outside of that far supersedes, in my opinion, any of his chauvinistic bad writing.
On the other end of the spectrum, Ash apparently has finally gotten into the Stormlight archives and is obsessed.
Amazing.
She
Welcome,
right before we
sister.
started the podcast, she was like,
Say the word.
she was like, wait, does Kaladin have a ex-girlfriend that we've never heard about? Like, what's happening? I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I try to find it in the Kindle, and it's like, oh, in part 4 of book 1, she's mentioned twice.
Yeah.
Oh, in part 4 of book 2, she's mentioned twice. Oh, in part 4 of book 3, she's mentioned a million times, and it's like
She gets mentioned a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like,
I
what
don't
do you,
remember her name, but
Tala or something? Tala?
don't worry about it.
I don't know.
It's important for the scenes, but don't worry about it.
But yeah, apparently the ending of the ending of Wheel of Times is good because Brandon Sanderson
Took over like at the last book. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Last
the thing
2
is,
books,
is
right?
that in my and kind of the way that I've always seen it, even in my recent readings of it, is that the story that Robert Jordan was trying to tell is so phenomenal.
It's solid. Yeah.
And so amazing. And the world that he built, and the political intricacies that he built were unbelievably detailed and amazing.
But he's a grandpa
His-
view of women.
Yes, his writing style is not why I like the idea of the story, right? But the story itself is what I would love to one day get to the end of.
I heard that Brandon Sanderson has like a team of 40 people behind his writing that he consults.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I think I've probably talked with you guys about that. It's like that's how you should do it. Like if you want to write a female character, do it, and then have 3 females tell you how you did and what you should change because they actually have the experience and you don't.
But that seems to be like a running theme in like writing now, where if anybody attempts to,
Not everybody can afford.
Yeah,
good,
not everyone can afford
like
it.
people who are doing like very nuanced books. Like I just finished reading the Buffalo Hunter, and the writer is Native American, but he also did research into the behaviors of people who were also buffalo hunters, and like folklore around that, and so on and so forth.
I feel like that
he did his due
nowadays
diligence.
writers just care more about how the reader is empathetically viewing what they are writing, where back in the day it was much more like H.P. Lovecraft or Robert Jordan, where they very specifically were like, no, I have a cool story and I'm going to write it how I want to write it. Whoever doesn't like that is like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Right?
But
I think people just put more thought nowadays into how somebody is reading it because they want to make the best story.
well, it'll appeal to more people too because
Yeah.
when you only write it from your perspective, guess what? If someone doesn't feel your perspective, even guys wise, like you're a dude writing, not all dudes are going to agree with you. So now you've got a subset of the populace that's actually going to.
That's just like H.P. Lovecraft's writing were super racist, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like stories are some of the most in-depth, detailed, crazy storytellings of cosmic horror. But every single bit of them has racist undertones. And it's like, yeah, no, like you can 100% say like H.P. Lovecraft, the guy was just
Closeted
a
racist.
racist
Now-
asshole. But
No,
like,
not closeted. Sorry, it was racist.
he was
Yeah.
not closeted at all.
It was like out front.
Like, not at all.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned not everyone can afford to do what Brandon Sanderson can, but like if me or any of you guys were about to try to write a book like Brandon Sanderson, all you got to do is reach out to your sisters or female friends and even male friends and be like, look, if you read through this first book and you give me proper notes and changes and how you think I could rephrase things to make it better from a female perspective or from your perspective of this character, you get 1% or 0.5% of all that I make off of this book. And if that book makes, $10 million, you just made $500,000, right?
I
And
do
people will
think
do
that.
that.
Works to a degree,
Mhm.
to some degree, but I do think there, in my head, there is still a difference in the level of scrutiny that someone will put into it. when
Yeah.
You were like paying them as a full-time position to be like, no, I want you to be contrarian and challenge how I'm talking and thinking about these things.
Yeah. So if you
versus
want to
having
be
somebody like,
smarter about it, you go and try to find, people that are being educated right now, people that are in school, at college, getting like an English major, and you talk to them and get their input
Solid. Yes.
yes, peer review dash. That's 100% how we should
of
do it.
your literary description of breast peer reviewed. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's all you got to do.
Ash, is your smut peer reviewed? Is that what
your
we're getting at?
Is your smut peer reviewed?
It better be. Teams.
It better be.
No.
You better put that smut away. Mm. Disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Stormlight Archives is the first book I've ever read where I'm reading female characters that aren't depicted as grandma or my little girl, my child.
Bruh.
I will say I really
Oh, sorry,
It's
or my
really hard to
fantasy
beat.
girl that's in Playboy. There's
There
three.
it is.
There's the third one. That's
There it is.
that's the one that happens all the time. Yeah.
want
and
a
you haven't
female
even
character-
read Mistborn yet.
No, I'm saying that's how most dudes write their
Yeah,
books
100%.
is a female character that's not attractive is grandma or daughter, like little girl.
Vin is like a hard left in like maybe all but like one category.
Vin is a great character, though.
Yeah.
In general.
Period. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason that Mistborn is probably the most Hollywood adaptable
Book
book
slash
out of
series.
all of Brandon Sanderson's.
Yeah.
Is that the third one?
No, it's
No.
a totally different world
Universe-
in the Cosmere.
world. Yeah.
Mm.
I was gonna say universe, but I was like, nope. Same universe.
I think you'll really like that one
Different
too,
world.
but it's like a classic trilogy.
Oh, so my father-in-law has been collecting every British version of the Stormlight Archives, and it took him a while
Art
to.
is so cool.
It took him a while, and for him, the writing is better because it is written in the UK language. So things make more sense to him, which is funny because it is, of course, American English is the original. so they're literally transcribing it or what's the word when someone changes the language of something?
Translating.
They're literally translating it to British
Eric's like,
English.
oh
Translate.
my god.
Yeah. Sorry, I could not remember that at all.
Have I told y'all to read the Porson series?
I believe I have it in my
I-
to read list.
I would like to.
It's another female character that's. It's all female leads. It's really well done.
I'd like another
The-
chance to understand the secret books and why you're reading them.
See what?
Eric is reading the secret art,
The
the
secret
secret
novels.
novels
The secret
before he
novels.
reads the newest one, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering-
the reason
That's
why
the
is because
order-
they're the order that you're supposed to read it.
Yeah, you're
After
supposed to
what
read
book?
The secret novels
After the
every
Rhythm of War.
No, after everything except for
the
Stormlight
newest
5.
book.
So the
Except
secret
for Wind of
novels
Truth.
almost require every other book he has written in the Cosmere,
Oh,
except for the fifth archive, to
Oh.
understand that fully.
understand the secret archives. Okay, so
Yes.
So like I'm okay doing the rest of the Stormlight Archives except for the last book, right? Doing 1, 2, 2.5, 3,
Read however
3.5,
you want,
etc.
Anthony. Read however you
No?
want.
So do you want the real answer?
Eric, just
or
let
the...
him read.
No, I want the
Just
real
let-
answer. I'm already
Okay.
committed
Read.
now.
Okay.
Nat,
Okay.
I got through one book. That's all it
Okay.
takes. Now you're in it.
Okay.
And I know
So-
because like, okay, so get this. My father-in-law read book 1 and 2, and then he started getting pretty deep into 3, but then he was like, wait a second. Who is this person? And then he learned, 2.5 is kind of necessary
Oathbringer.
for this character that shows up, and she's just like, I'm just a badass. And he's like, wait, who are you?
That?
So I
don't know.
need to go ahead and send you this. We're gonna just go over this
Okay.
in the podcast
Okay.
real quick, just so you have
Oh boy.
an idea here. Let me make sure
Is it?
this
Are
is
you
right.
sending the reading guide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we're gonna go through some of this just a little,
Just a little, huh?
just a little,
You just mentioned the Cosmere and you said just a little. You lied.
just.
Oh, this is
little.
pretty.
So go ahead and click on the drop down
very
and
pretty.
go to reading order.
Wait, there's a
Somebody
drop
share
down?
this- Somebody share their screen.
Yeah,
Go
in
on.
the top.
Where do you see this drop down? Oh god. Oh no, guys, I lost you. I accidentally clicked on be right back. I'm back.
Okay. Click in the top right. There's a drop down for reading order, or legend. It says legend, and then you can do it. Yeah, everybody can go. and
Legend.
join us
I
on
found the
this-
legend.
So
Okay.
right now you can actually see that none of the starting places for phase 1 are the Stormlight Archive.
Phase 1. How do you see phase 1?
So in the reading order section, you can
There's a
click
reading
that down
order
and
section.
see phase 1, phase 2, phase 3.
Oh, yes. So phase 1 is highlighted. Okay.
So if you click on phase 2, you can now see that the Way of Kings,
Oh,
you
okay,
can
yeah.
see how some
Words
of the
of
phase
Radiance.
1 stuff gives you information subtly for the lost metal in the Way of Kings. So the Way of Kings is an unofficial starting spot only because none of the other books give you information for it straightforward. However, you can see that the Words of Radiance, book 2, has an orange line from Warbreaker.
All right, wait,
Yep.
wait. Is Words of Radiance blue?
Yes.
Yes.
Where is it?
If you clicked on reading order and order
Yeah, I've
by-
got phase 2 in there's an order by.
Yes. Do reading order, and you can kind of see it goes clockwise for like ideal kind of way to read it, broken up by phases. If you mouse over anything, it'll show you the information. Orange lines are subtle hints to give you information for that book. Red line essentially means that you are missing part of the story entirely if you don't read the other one first.
Okay, so Words of Radiance, if you read Warbreaker first, you have a
You
better
get more
experience.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
But on 3, Oathbringer, you can notice there's a red line from Warbreaker. And an orange line from the Hero of
You
Ages.
have to pick up something for more.
And Warbreaker isn't in the Stormlight Archives.
No,
it is.
It is. No, it is
But-
not. It is.
I mean,
in
it
Cosmere.
is. The content is Cosmere.
Yes.
But it's
all of
not
these
it's not
books are
book
correct.
2.5.
No.
No, it is.
Book
not.
2.5 is something different
The
completely.
It's a-
Warbreaker is an entirely separate story on a different planet.
Oh fuck.
Entirely.
Okay. See, okay, first off, I would still argue that you should start people off with the Way of Kings and the Stormlight Archives if, like me, they absolutely enjoy rereadability. Okay? Because this site that you just showed me that the Cosmere is the ultimate rereadable thing in the world. If you
Yes.
just stumble
Yes.
through it, you're going to have
Yeah.
like a time of your life for the next like 20 years of being
Yes.
like, wait, okay, now I'm going to go reread this. And then you're
That's
like,
why he's
now-
the GOAT.
Now what I want you to do on this series to kind of just have some fun with it, we're going to do
I see. Stormlight Archive is blue.
go ahead in the reading
It's phase
order
2.
and click all of the phases, unpublished and apocryphal.
Okay.
Right? So you have all of those clicked. Then click minor and Easter eggs.
Good
in the
God.
Connections.
Good God.
It gets crazy.
Okay?
There's a few books that aren't connected to anything. That's it. There's only 3.
And you have to
Yes.
enable spoilers to be able to view some of these.
Oh, yeah. No. I
Don't
don't
enable
want you
that.
do not spoilers.
not
However,
enable
if you
spoilers.
press spoilers, those non-connected books will start having connections.
Oh my God. Of course.
So don't worry about that right there. But yes.
Don't worry
It's
about
crazy.
that. Don't you worry.
So you can kind of see that I am reading the books I'm reading right now. If you have all the phases clicked in the top left corner, you should see Yumi and the Nightmare Painter,
Yeah.
Tress of the Emerald Sea, and the Sunlit Man. Go
Yeah.
ahead and mouse over those to see all of the information going to them.
That's so much.
Yes.
But how do you see what you should read before reading those?
I have read everything in Cosmere except for those in the news.
Those 3? Damn.
Yes. So that's why I am okay reading them. But if you go over to where is it?
Hoyd! Who the fuck is Hoyd? A Hoyd that has the king's wit. Oh,
You don't know Hoyd, Nat?
You don't know? No, Ash in the chat.
Who the fuck is Hoyd?
Who the fuck is
Yeah.
Hoyd?
Ash, don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions. Just read.
You don't need
You don't need to know who Hoyd
to
is.
know who Hoyd is yet. Also,
Hoyd is not an important character.
Don't click that and then get really confused when all of us on different planets have Hoyd.
Ash.
Oh my
Assume
God, there's
that-
a Hoyd button.
There's
guys.
Look,
Oh my
don't worry.
God.
Anthony,
Okay,
don't
some of this is
worry about
spoiler.
who.
You have,
Yes,
you have to stop. You have to stop. Trust me.
don't worry about Hoyd. Don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it,
about.
Ash.
See, Eric, this is why I was like, I don't know if you should show them this kind of resource because
No, I know that for
intrinsically
Anthony-
is spoiler. It's
No, here's
intrinsically
the
spoiler
thing.
content.
For Anthony, this will light a fire, man. Because he, like he said, this just leads to such a wonderful rereadability experience. Because now he's gonna be like, he was fucking there the whole time, you know, like.
Yeah, see, like, I don't care what order I go in, honestly. And I'm happy to jump around potentially and stuff like that, as long as I'm in a somewhat decent order, because I will enjoy rereading it. I've already enjoyed rereading book 1 every time that Ash and I are driving somewhere, and I'm like, you want to listen to whatever you're listening to right now?
Dude, book 1 is amazing. I've reread it multiple times and it never gets old. I would say for me,
That intro gets a
unclick
little
the
old.
minor, unclick the Easter eggs, and I would say if you read it in an order where if you go to this site with just phase 1, 2, and 3 with major and significant, and just be like, oh, the next one is Oathbringer. Like book 3 is Oathbringer. Like you're gonna go and you're gonna say, oh, book 3 is Oathbringer. It has a red line from Warbreaker. Let me read Warbreaker real quick.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Like cool. There you go. And then you go to Rhythm of War and you're like, "Oh, it has red lines from like a few orange lines." You know, before I read Rhythm of War, maybe I'll actually go through and read The Hero of Ages and the 2 before that, you know? And then I'll be good, right? And like just go stumble through it. I would say if you read the red
Oh,
lines
they're
first-
directional. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
important.
Like the origin of the information to the actual reference.
But I would say
Mm-hmm.
that if you read all of the red line orderings so that you never read a book without reading the red line first, you're going to be really happy regardless of the other orderings and orange lines. The orange lines are cool enough and the minor and Easter eggs are cool enough that when you reread after reading other stuff, it is going to be really cool to
I needed
catch new
Horn Eater.
information.
I'm so glad. I didn't know Horn Eater was planned. I'm so glad they're doing that.
Yes, Horn Eater is playing.
Horn Eater? That sounds
Don't
cool.
worry about it.
No, I know what a horn eater is.
Okay.
I just found out the origin of the horn eater's habitation, if you will.
Yeah.
Which is
Yep.
pretty neat. Or at least a story. It's probably true.
Yeah.
It's definitely true.
If you want a really cool way of viewing this information that I like a little bit better, go to that top right order by and just do series.
Yeah.
That will ensure that if you're reading like a trilogy, you don't like read it. Like if you see a red line from something in a trilogy, you'll see very quickly that it's in a trilogy.
Yeah.
Instead of like accidentally being like, oh, let me read The Well of Ascension. And then The Well of Ascension is like book 2 in a trilogy. And you're like, oh,
Don't
wait a
worry about
second.
that. Yeah.
Your reading order is a little odd. Like, is it trying to say that in like clockwise
would-
order is the
Yes.
ideal reading
Yes.
order of everything?
Yes.
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 Mm.
That is what it is saying. If you read in clockwise order for the reading order, you guarantee that you will never run into a piece of information you did not know first.
Yeah.
So that is what is considered the most optimum way to read without
God.
having to reread.
Now
I started at
Anthony-
7
Anthony-
o'clock.
You did, but that's
Anthony.
okay. I started
That's
at 7
fine.
o'clock too.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Anthony, I need to tell you something.
yeah.
I have not read any of Mistborn's second era of Mistborn. So that entire 2 o'clock that's on this clock, I have not read,
Yeah.
Oh.
and I have been able to keep up, though barely.
Well, the
So
good thing
it is
about that
possible
is that
If you feel like you want to go ahead and go to something else, you can.
yeah.
But there are things that you will have to either do. You will either have to
Oh
spoil
my
yourself
God.
outside of reading, or you will have to read the books out of order.
Yeah. The good thing
And it-
is that the second era of Mistborn 2 is really setting up stuff for future, not
Like era 4 kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Can we has Brandon Sanderson set aside some DNA to clone himself? Because there's a lot unpublished. If something bad happens,
Anthony, this man is a machine. I am so serious
He's a
right now.
machine, yeah.
He is freakish. He puts out books as if they are like these small little novellas, and they're freaking monsters. The guy put out so rewind 4 years ago, right, Eric? About 4 or 5 years ago, for the Secret Project novels.
Yeah, the secret novels were 2020.
2020, right? Rewind to this time. We hadn't seen a book from Brandon since, I believe it was Rhythm of War.
2019. Yeah.
2019. He comes out of nowhere and says, oh, I'm going to do a Kickstarter for a single book, right? I'm just going to go ahead and do a crowdfunding because we're going to go ahead and do this as a community, go ahead and come together and make this book. He does the announcement video and he says, I was having a really good time writing. And he puts down the transcript for the book that he was talking about. He says, but I got really into it. So I did another. And he puts another transcript on top of the freaking book. And then another. And then another.
He literally was like, let me do a Kickstarter for one book. And then the opening paragraph was like, yeah, so I finished book 1 and I just kept going.
Just kept going.
Here's 3 other books. How do y'all feel about that?
oh my God.
It's the reason why it is is it still the #1 selling Kickstarter ever?
Yeah. I think it might be.
He blew up the internet.
Yeah. He has the most crowdfunded novels of all time, for sure.
By handedly.
And he has, if not the top Kickstarter of all time, number 2 or 3.
So Anthony, this guy is the GOAT. This is George
he's
R.R.
just a
Mountain
monster.
who. This is the dude. He will put out the book for you. You will see a book from him at least once a year.
When I went and talked to him live a few years ago and I talked to him, he flat out told me there's 36 years of planned releasing of books.
36, Anthony.
36 years of straight just releasing books.
Just
Just inside of the Cosmere. We
And
have
that was like 5 of them are bangers.
yeah, and that was by the way, that was 2019, so it's only been 6 years. We still have 30 more years of books in just this universe.
And he's still writing. He's come up with ideas since he's talked to Eric.
Yeah.
When's the HBO Max series come out?
So funnily enough, there are companies that actually own a few of his works and have publishing rights.
The licenses, yeah.
The biggest one, the one that has the most movement behind it, is the Mistborn series.
Yeah.
That is the one that people want to do the most. It's his Hollywood story. It's his original bestseller. It's the thing that put him on the map. Everybody loves it. It is really easy to put it into a show or movie. It'd be really easy to do a Lord of the Rings like trilogy with it. The story is very Hollywood friendly. And it's just very good.
It's just finding the right person.
Yes. That is honestly the hardest part for him, has been finding a Vin and finding casting that works for those characters.
I still don't. Well, actually, no. I know who the Vin should be if it was based on actors right now.
You know what would be the smartest move in television?
What?
If Marvel made this their next big thing.
If who?
If Marvel just pulled out and did this.
Marvel was like, wait, we need to stop trying with this superhero stuff. Like, put that on the back burner. Let it do whatever it's going to do. Next up, all of Brandon Sanderson's everything.
Yeah.
Oh, like what? And just do like a visual novel representation of it along with the movies?
No, just do the movie. Like Marvel does, like Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's talking about like the Disney Marvel Studios.
They're too deep in their own crop.
I'm saying like,
you catch my meaning.
Someone that commits to the entirety. You know, where they sign on an actor and they're like, no, you want to act for this? We have you for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like you are doing this for 15 years. And a lot of actors don't like doing that, but it's like, well, then you're not going to be part of the biggest thing ever. Like, like that's a cool thing to be a part of.
Eric, it's Anya Taylor-Joy.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
I think that's Finn.
Oh, is that?
I think that's Finn.
I think she's too old, unfortunately.
I mean, when she was younger, for sure. But like, I feel like that's the closest that you're gonna get. There's nobody who's doing like the younger version of her who's gonna be able to pull it off.
Yeah. The older version, I could see it because she's supposed to have angular face. She's supposed to be sharp, crass. She should almost be playing like she does in Queen's Gambit, essentially.
Exactly.
I could 100% see that.
Yeah.
She's thin, like, I see it.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
would be down for that.
It is a really good idea. I don't know if this is what you're thinking about, Nat, but
Might be too tall.
But doing something so big in an animated way instead of with real life.
Man,
because then if you change voice actors, whatever.
You stepped on another bomb for me, because I feel like there's so many people who are just like, oh yeah, this live action that. You need to put some fucking respect on some of these animators, dude. Like Fortiche came out and gave you Arcane. And you are still like, there are still stories that are not being told animated wise because they wanted the live action.
Yeah. The biggest problem now is that no American company can afford to not do it like Arcane, which is so expensive and time consuming, and there aren't big enough animation studios in the US to be able to do that. Yeah. Comparatively to like Japan, that pushes out anime content so quickly because the studios are 15 times the size, right?
And we have such a market for the opposition, though. We have like this huge market for live action representation of theatrics within Western cinema.
But stuff like Arcane just costs so much in America comparatively to Japan, where they can pay. They pay their animators less.
Arcane wasn't made in Japan, though. It's Fortiche, French.
No. I that's what I'm saying. But that's a Western market pays, like, there's smaller animation studios that cost more, that take longer, that do less episodes per their time.
I see.
Japanese animation studios, they run them to the wire, they pay them less, and they can get out so much more content, right? That's why animes have 24 episodes, 25 episodes, and Arcane will only ever do 8
tops.
episodes, it's like 40 minutes to an hour long. They spend 2 years on it, 4 years on it in some
Take
cases.
take however long they want to take, bruh.
No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree, but that's
Yeah.
like you got to think
that's
about
the
like the
demand.
Mistborn series, right? The Mistborn series would need to be
A 4-year project.
100.
longer than that, right?
I don't think it would.
Or
Take
sorry, you
longer
just
than
said
4
Mistborn.
years.
I was thinking the whole.
For an
everything.
American studio, it would take longer. Western
American,
studio,
yes.
For
For
a
a Western
Japanese
studio, it should be
studio,
4.
I think they could do 3 seasons and make it a Fates. Like if you gave it to
Oh, if you get a UFO table.
UFO table.
Oh my god, that'd be insane.
Dude, give Mistborn to UFO table and call it a day. They'll have that shit and they'll have
They'll have
3
that shit by
seasons in a
Tuesday.
movie. They'll do 3 seasons and do the final big part at
That's
the
so
movie.
funny. That's so funny.
Man.
Have you seen
they'd rock it.
Ufotable stuff, Anthony? Okay. Have you heard of
They're-
the Fate series? Okay. Have
Haven't
you
seen it.
You've probably seen the clips online. It's like this super impactful and very high resolution animation that is very synonymous with their name. Like if I show you an image of one of their main characters, you know exactly who they are.
Mm.
let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. here
So
Anthony, I just want you go ahead and mute this. Just look at the animation quality.
Yeah.
There's like no spoilers in this, but the animation quality is UFO Table. They're by far one of my. Oh wait, UFO Table does Demon Slayer.
Ufotable. Yeah.
oh, UFO guys,
Yeah, it's Ufotable. Sorry.
it's UFO table
It's Ufotable.
UFO.
guys.
It's
It
Ufotable.
says
It's
UFO.
I know what it says. It's Ufotable. Just say it.
It's,
Don't.
no.
It's a fight.
But yeah, look. So this is them when they can do a movie, kind of like Demon Slayer. But yes, they do Demon Slayer.
What, Heaven's Feel?
Yes, Heaven's
Yeah.
Feel 3.
Yeah, those fights are insane.
Dude, they're
So-
just crazy.
I do wonder if it would save time and recasting and stuff like that if people would semi-animate. Okay, and by that I mean use a lot of mocap to do a majority of the animations.
Oh, I see what you mean. So you can age them up or down.
Yeah,
if you
and
need
you
to.
can have different actors do the same person. They're just
I think you're
doing the
you're
physical.
asking for them to develop a skill set that they may not have because now they have to go ahead and play an older version of the same
I
character.
think that's also one of those things that is really cheap to get 90% of the way, but the tech right now is so new that the people doing it that last 10% are charging way more, and it's still super expensive to
It's
get
still
that
Wild West
last
for some
little
people.
piece
Yeah.
of really good content.
Still Wild West.
unfortunate.
But I think at some point, yeah, that could
So,
probably be an
yeah.
answer too. But
what a tangent, guys!
yeah,
Guys,
Yeah.
I played Claire Obscure.
Oh.
It's great.
Dude, I know. I just felt bad because I knew you wouldn't be able to talk about it too much.
Yeah, I
because
can't.
I
can't,
still
yeah.
want to play so much of that game, and I just
It's really great.
have
Yeah.
not had the time to do it yet. But man, that game has been amazing so far. I also want to play that game.
Mm-hmm. It's good, but fuck, it's crushing.
Yeah.
It's apparently Jason just finished. He was like, dude, I nearly 100%ed it. No notes. 10 out of 10.
Dude.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
I mean, already I know it's going to be a 10 out of 10 style game. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
But yeah, that was my thing, guys. Well done, guys. Well done.
Yeah.
GG.
Well done.
GG.
Another wonderful episode of the Taphaven Podcast. With that, I guess we'll catch you in the next episode. We'll have a Discord thing. Catch out the Discord. We'll have
Oh yeah.
the whiskeys that we're trying out there. Yeah. Check us out on YouTube. All the episodes are up there. Like, subscribe, do all the things. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Later, nerds.
Oh, Anthony immediately OBS killed it.